mind, looking for a dime. James Locke in the house, gonna help you shine.
Welcome to the Pool Lock YouTube channel. I'm James Locke. Today we're going to answer some more Ask James questions of the day. So we have our first question from Janet, and she says, I've heard a lot of talk of recession in the media, but do you think it will happen? Janet, that, my dear, is a $64,000 question. And if you're my age or older, you know exactly what I mean by that. I've always been of the opinion that the Federal Reserve has played a significant role in creating recessions throughout history, and their strategy of raising interest rate aims to curb demand for goods and services, which can put a damper on economic growth, right? The intention is to bring down inflation by reducing demand, but it's a delicate balance, right? So if they tighten monetary policy just a tad too much, it can easily tip the economy into a recession. Hence, the Fed has inadvertently triggered many recessions in the past. However, despite these risks, I'm more optimistic now than I have been in the past. The economy has shown resilience despite, previous rate hikes by the Fed. I mean, obviously the Fed raises and lowers, they move it around, but right now they're holding steady, right? So, let's see what happens. The critical question here is how aggressively the Fed will tighten if we see inflation or loosen if we don't, right? The target of achieving a 2% inflation rate, especially in core inflation, that might be overly ambitious given historical averages, it often hovers around 3%. So if the Fed continues their course of, leaving rates where it is, then we'll see. You never know what happens, right? It could push us into a recession, or they could be right and everything, stabilizes. But, if they decide to stay where they are, like pause and not lower them, who knows, with a low rate, there's a good chance, we could avoid a downturn, right? It's never an easy answer. They're always balancing that inflation versus the recession, right? Now, for retirees or those planning for retirement, this uncertainty underscores the importance of a well thought out investment strategy. It's crucial to prioritize investments that generate reliable income while minimizing risk and volatility. Now, diversification can be key here, right? You want to consider allocating assets across a mix of dividend-paying stocks, bonds, other income-generating investments, potentially like, real estate investment trusts, REITs. These assets can provide steady cash flow while potentially offering more stability than pure equity investments. Additionally, it might be wise to look into defensive sectors, such as utilities or consumer staples. These sectors tend to be less sensitive to economic fluctuations, making their dividends more resilient during challenging times. In essence, while the possibility of a recession looms, strategic planning and a diversified portfolio can help mitigate risks and ensure a steady income stream throughout retirement. As always, keep informed, stay flexible with your investment approach, and remember that long-term financial goals should guide your decisions. Great question. Thank you for your question. As always, if you want to send in your question, you can do so. You can email them to poollock@poollock.com. Let's move on to our second question. Our second question is from Bobby. Bobby asks, plan to retire within the next 10 years. 10 years would be the absolute most. So I'm really worried that if there's a recession, it will wreck my retirement. What should I do? Bobby, that's a valid concern, especially given the uncertainty surrounding economic cycles. The key here is to structure your retirement plan in a way that can weather various market conditions, including recessions. So one effective strategy is to shift your investment focus from total return to prioritizing income generation first and capital appreciation second. Up to now, Bobby, you've likely been focused on total return, which combines income, because that's like interest and dividends, with capital appreciation, right? However, as you approach retirement, it's prudent to adopt an income-first approach. Why? Because during a recession, the market can remain volatile or even decline for extended periods, potentially 5 to 7 years, as we've seen historically. Now, by emphasizing income-producing investments, such as dividend-paying stocks or bonds, stable real estate investment trusts, you create a steady stream of cash flow. This income is crucial because it allows you to maintain your lifestyle and cover expenses without needing to rely solely on selling investments that may be at a low in their market cycle. Now, imagine retiring in 7 years and facing a recession where the market's growth is stagnant or negative. If you've transitioned to an income-first strategy, you'll continue receiving regular dividends and interest payments regardless of market conditions. So this stability can significantly reduce the impact of market downturns on your retirement plans. Now, on the other hand, if you continue with a total return mindset, you may find yourself needing to sell investments at unfavorable times to generate income. If the market is down, this could force you to sell assets at a loss or reduce your retirement income expectations. Now, to further safeguard your retirement, consider diversifying your income sources across different sectors and asset classes. So look for investments with a history of maintaining dividends, even during economic downturns, as these can provide a reliable income cushion. Ultimately, the goal is to build a retirement portfolio that prioritizes stability and reliable income streams. Now, by making this shift now, you can better position yourself to navigate potential recessions without jeopardizing your retirement timeline. I had 2 great questions today. As always, if you would like to send in your question, love to have it, you can email your questions to poollocke@poollocke.com. If you like what you heard, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. I am James Locke, your retirement income source. And I'll see you next time.
Money on my mind, looking for a dime. James Locke in the house, gonna help you shine. Retirement is near, don't you live in fear. Listen up, my friend, let me make it clear.